Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. Chelsea have finally won a London derby. The last one they won, funny enough, was against Crystal Palace. This game was... Chelsea started off really brightly. Mudryk today, like Villamanza game, was really impressive. He was just showing a lot of pace, a lot of like fast touch, like his fast touch, his close control, his balance on the ball was really good. But I think all of it is just because Nkunku started. Nkunku really changes the outlook for this team. His team only goes as far as Nkunku goes. Obviously, Palmer and Sterling were suspended for this game. Kitu moja Chelsea wamesafa nao sana kwa the last. I know I've been giving Pochettino a lot of stick, but if you look at the injuries they have, Kukurea, Reece James, Chilwell, and then obviously Palmer and Sterling walikuwa suspended leo. Those are all wide players. There are times this team lacks width, kabisa. Like, they just don't know how to attack. Everything is so narrow. Everything is trying to go through a funnel. But when they get the ball high up the field, alafu wana counter press, very good at that. Like, that is why I'm seeing the likes of Mudryk shining. Nicholas Jackson today was alikuwa tu sawa until he started missing chances. Chelsea create lots of chances. Or may create the second most chances in the league, but they also miss the most chances in the league. So they've missed the most chances. They create the second most and miss the most. So for a team that loses control of games in between, like they will have a 20-minute spell where they're really good, and all of a sudden they just lose control. That first half, they were impressive. They were really good. Crystal Palace waliwanzia na moto, but when they got control of the game, they were really, really good. And then they scored the goal, obviously. So they went 1-0 up. And they were just playing. They were just relaxed. Hakukuwa na pressure mob. That backline of Malo Gusto, Thiago Silva Libenchiwa, just being rested. Yeah, Badia Shield, Disasi, Colwill, na Malo Gusto was really good. Malo Gusto pia today he played well. He also got the assist for the goal. Like, they looked very bright. But the problem with Chelsea is once they lose control, they just disappear out of games. Again, this was the 8th youngest team ever selected in the Premier League. I think average age of 23.1. So also youth is a factor. So you can't blame them too much because of that. Injuries has forced this team to just have youth. But even after all the signings they've made, walikuwa na wasengine kwa bench hata sijui kwa kina nani. This kid Gilchrist 42 came on. Bergstrom, Castledine, Nani, Alex Matos. I'm like, who the hell are all these people? For a team that bought so many players, why do they still have so many youngsters coming off the bench? But anyway, it's good for them to at least have academy players being... you can't just have all the whole first team and subs need to kill mtu mwenye umenunua. You have to have some academy players. Obviously, Romeo Lavia made his... actually, before we get to Lavia, Crystal Palace. Olise and Eze, those boys, as you get balls, they just glide. Like, when I get two ball on a glide too. Kidogo wametoka pata ball in the middle of the pitch wako huko mbele. Like, they just glide with the ball. They're so smooth on the ball. I would love to see them have more of an end product. They do, sort of. Like, sometimes it's much better than ilikuwa maybe like a year ago, especially for Olise. Olise, when he got in the league, end product was zero. Now you can sort of see, like, even the finish to his goal, it was just pure instinct and he got it perfectly. And this is why I say Chelsea lose control of games, because Crystal Palace just scored with a minute left in added on time, 46th minute. Like, you have to see that half through. So again, but that's also as a result of youthful exuberance from the Chelsea side. Getting to Lavia. Lavia came on the field. You could see he was a bit rusty as well, but I mean, he had a solid enough debut. And now all of a sudden, new midfielder Chelsea now is stacked, right? The only person that wasn't there is Enzo, but Enzo is suffering from a hernia injury, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. Caicedo came back for this game, so walikuwa na Caicedo, walikuwa na Lavia, and then obviously they had Conor Gallagher there in midfield, who's also the captain. Conor Gallagher has been quite impressive. I think they just did a run of fixtures where they have a consistent starting 11. Obviously, having Palmer and Sterling back will help, but they just need a run of a consistent starting 11. And I think you'll start seeing the patterns, because at this moment, as I said in the last game against Wolves, the one they lost, there's times when the ball gets to certain areas and they don't know what their next move is. Wanna guess. It becomes a long ball, or it becomes they force a cross, or you're forcing a pass through the middle. They don't know what the next move is. But also that's just as a result of not having a consistent starting 11, such that now you may have practiced on these things na kina Sterling, na Palmer, and then all of a sudden you have to start with Madueke and someone else. Speaking of Madueke came on. He looked really good. He scored the winning penalty. He won the winning penalty. And I think, yeah, he's someone who's also just on the fringes. I don't know what the plan is with everyone that they have. All I know is some of these players will have to go at some point, right? You cannot have Madsen, Madueke, all these guys are now getting game time. Ju, Palmer na Sterling wako injured. Unacheki. Nkunku has just come back. So that whole front line is about to be stacked. But one thing has to be certain. Sterling and Nkunku have to start in this team because Nkunku just brings something different. A bit more composure, that killer ball, the threat of a goal. Like Nkunku is really good. The two subs that Pochettino made around the 60th minute, bringing on Lavia and Thiago Silva, didn't do much for the team. The ones that actually made a big change were Broha and Madueke, who came on for Nkunku and Mudryk. Obviously, Nkunku Bada is just a 90 minutes. I was even surprised they got to 70. I thought it'd get to around 60. But yeah, Broha and Madueke actually did quite a bit and changed the game. So props to Chelsea. You get the wins where you can. A good, solid win. The games are coming thick and fast. They got Thiago Silva was rested. At least he'll for sure is going to start the next game. Which is against who do Chelsea play next? Chelsea play Luton away, so they will have their firepower back. But I'm really, really curious to see how Sterling plays in Nkunku. That's the one that I'm really, really excited for in this team. Anyway, yeah, Chelsea win the London Derby 2-1 against Palace. I would have talked about Nicholas Jackson and his miss, but it's becoming a bit obvious. Then he scores afterwards, then it's offside. But yeah, I think that's all I'll have to say about Chelsea. Peace.